guys, welcome to another video. I'm Ethel. I am a health and life coach. Welcome to this space. If you're new here, if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for watching this video. And please do like, share, comment down below. I would love to connect with you guys. On this channel, we are building a life and health that we love. Today's topic is going to be a juicy one. It is, I believe, something that secretly undermines people's health, mental health, even relational health. That topic is none other than the word jealousy. There's so many videos out there on jealousy and what to do with jealous people and the inner workings of jealousy and how it works and everything else. And I am in this video approaching this from an emotional, psychological perspective. And my goal is to highlight certain reasons why jealousy exists and also how to deal with jealousy in your life. The goal is not to put anyone down or to make anyone feel, horrible about something they struggle with, but the goal is to be able to educate, to be able to support, and also provide certain self-development, self-love, self-care practices that are going to help a person's self, right? A person's life, so that you don't fall prey to jealousy. Okay, so let's look at why jealousy happens. And we don't even have to discuss the fact that jealousy does deteriorate a person's mental health and also their relationships. Even if it's not immediate, eventually jealousy will destroy relationships. And so we are probably all on the same page about the fact that jealousy is an unfortunate human experience. However, I want to delve right into some of the reasons why it happens and it exists, and how we can build robust enough cells that don't need to rely on jealousy in life at all. So why does jealousy happen? So I believe the first reason is the reason of low self-esteem. So and I have talked about self-esteem and just self-development type topics in other videos that you can check out. But low self-esteem usually stems from people being disconnected from their true selves. Their likes and dislikes, their values, their skills, their natural talents, the things that are good about them, and also their strengths and their weaknesses. Just having that awareness and also value for oneself. And this can stem from, childhood, how we are raised. This sort of value the children are given, right, in our society and in our families can affect their self-esteem. The experiences that we go through can affect self-esteem. Also, different adverse events that happens in a person's life can knock people, off their rails and plunge them into low self-esteem. So how do we combat jealousy that stems from low self-esteem? What this looks like in terms of how a person with low self-esteem can also become a jealous person is that they look outside themselves and look at somebody else and think, well, if I had A, B, C, and D that they have, then I might be more confident, I might be more comfortable, I might be happier with my life. Truth be told, that will probably not happen, right? Because the basis of happiness and joy and just all the things that we want out of life is not by looking at the grass that's green on the other side, but is by watering our own grass on our lawn. And so getting to know yourself will be one of the bases, right? Being blatantly just aware of your good sides and also your weaknesses, right? Getting to know yourself. And then also using affirmations to bolster yourself out of negative thought patterns and to bolster yourself out of, shaming yourself and blaming yourself. Just noticing those things inside of you, and then using affirmations to pull yourself, to give yourself a new identity, to elevate yourself so that you don't feel like you have to be focusing on somebody else and what they have and what they're doing to further beat yourself down. You're going to be able to build a relationship, a positive relationship with yourself, where you are affirming yourself, you are learning yourself, you are building yourself up. And so with all that time being dedicated to all that perspective, you will not have enough time to look at somebody else and, feel feelings of jealousy. The other points that I want to mention, which is a reason why jealousy becomes an issue, is low self-efficacy. So low self-efficacy basically means that a person has an external locus of control instead of an internal locus of control. What does this mean? It means that a person believes that whatever is happening in life right now is because of something that is outside of me, and I do not have a lot of control over it. So what that does is it puts people in this victim mentality and victim spot. And so when there are other people who are probably working really hard, who are probably doing a lot of work, be it in their self-development or professional development, what it does is it puts those people on a pedestal, right? And it puts those people in a sort of like perspective that their lives are better, and I can't do anything about my life. Like, these are the cards I've been dealt in life, and so I'm only going to resort to jealousy because there's nothing I can do about my life. Now, how that can be turned around is if you are focusing on building an internal locus of control, which is saying to yourself that I am 100% responsible for where I'm at in life right now, okay? And this obviously applies to adults, okay? Because children can't have the same sort of internal locus of control because they are dependent. But as an adult, with an adult brain and an adult life, you can say to yourself, I take full responsibility for my life, and everything that I have right now is because of what I know up till this point, what I've done up till this point, and I can make changes. I can learn new things, and I can, transform my skill sets, my, knowledge, my ways of interacting and ways of being. And so that empowers a person to then start focusing inwards, right? Instead of looking outwards and being jealous of other people, it focuses you inwards. So now you wake up in the morning and you're scrolling through social media. You are using social media in a way of inspiration, right? You're using social media to inspire you to the new and better things that you have decided and that you can achieve, versus when you have that, I am out of control of my life. I can't do anything for myself. When you get on social media and start scrolling, that's all the reminders of, how stuck you are basically, and how everybody else's life looks better than your life. And there doesn't seem to be anything that you can do about it. So it's a mindset shift that actually puts you in control, that empowers you to take responsibility for where you're at in life. And there is no judgment, right? There's no shade. It's just a matter of, settling accounts. So basically looking at what you have and thinking to yourself, what in my life is not working? What are the things that I want out of life, and how can I get them? And I can't get them. That's actually the bigger piece of all this, the fact that you believe that you can get it, because that is what's called the internal locus of control. I can control me. I can become self-disciplined, and I can achieve my goals and my dreams and the things that I want to see manifest in my life. Okay, so I think the third reason why jealousy exists at all is a lack of self-trust. So self-trust is basically the trust that you build. It's very closely related to confidence. It feeds right into confidence. So it's the trust that you feel about yourself because you have shown up for yourself, been disciplined, done what you said you would do, kept promises to yourself, and so yourself basically trusts you to be able to do certain things, right? So it's just like a relationship. It's basically a relationship with yourself, right? With another person, for you to build trust with another person, they should have shown you consistent, positive things that will say, okay, because of these consistent positive interactions that I've had with this person, I can trust them. It's kind of the same with yourself, because sometimes what we're doing is we're putting ourselves down. We're talking, ourselves down. We are not being our own best friend and our own best cheerleader. And so because of that, we have a negative relationship with ourselves. And also, we don't show up for ourselves. Now, we might show up for everything and anyone, and the boss, and the children, and anyone else, but we will not show up for ourselves, whether it's in working out or eating well or waking up when we say we're going to wake up, or just pursuing the things that we say we're going to pursue. We don't show up for ourselves. And so when you do that consistently enough, yourself knows not to trust you, because yourself knows, yeah, you're going to respond to somebody else's need, but when it comes to your needs that are your responsibility, that nobody else can take care of, you probably won't respond. And there is a trauma-based reason why this happens. There's childhood, just situational reason why we build some of these bad habits around self-trust. However, again, it is such an empowering thing to be an adult, to be living in an adult body with an adult brain, because that is an opportunity for you to heal what's back there, right? And to use your choice to start building self-discipline, self-development, and to start moving the rudder, right, of your life in the direction that you want it to go, so that you're not always externally focused on other people's lives and other people's things. You're focused on building self-trust with yourself. And How that helps with jealousy is that yourself see something that you might admire or that you might want. The feeling that you're going to get when you have self-trust is, if that's something that I want and something that maybe is calling to me from deep down because I see somebody else exhibiting it or manifesting it or having it in their lives, then I know I can work towards it, because I know I trust myself to show up, to work towards it, versus just coiling back and looking at other people and just being, green-eyed and just jealous and all that, and all the negative feelings that come with that, And so building self-trust, I believe, is one of the ways to turn back the hand of jealousy, to just throw it out of your life, because it's a cancer and it's poisonous. It's poisonous to a person's self-esteem and life, and also poisonous to relationships that a jealous person finds themselves in. The fourth reason why I believe jealousy happens is because of what I call the crab mentality. Okay, so the crab mentality is basically this idea and belief system that when one person goes up, we all go down. Okay, it's a mentality that comes from the analogy of crabs being in the bucket. It says that when you put crabs in a bucket, when one tries to climb out of the bucket, what happens is the crabs would try to drag that one down back into the bucket. I believe they could probably form some sort of ladder that would help everybody climb out of the bucket, but because of the crab mentality, they never think to do that. And so that, I feel like, is one of the mentality that fosters jealousy, right? Because when you see one person elevating, evolving, reaching their goals and achievement marks, then all the other people get jealous because they feel they need to pull that person down, because if the person goes up, then they're all going down automatically. And which is not true, by the way. When a person elevates in life, when a person evolves and becomes a better self than they were yesterday, the whole society benefits, the whole of humanity, and humanity to come, right? Their children and their children's children, their family members, their community, everybody benefits from that. Everybody does. People benefit from their work, okay? The work that they're doing, and their generosity and their mental health. And there's so many benefits to people elevating and people living their lives and people reaching their goals. But the crab mentality makes it so that people do not think of good things and elevation and success in those ways. They think of it in terms of, how can we pull this person down? Because if she goes up, then we go down. So how do we deal with this? Switching the mindset, just coming clean with yourself and switching the mindset that if somebody goes up, then I'm going down. That's not true. I believe that if you are on the planet, if you're here, you have a body, you have a name, you have breath, you're here for a purpose. There's a reason why you're here. Nobody makes anything without purpose. If you look all throughout nature, everything is made for a reason. So if there are two people, let's narrow it down to two, and one person, and they're both here, then there are two purposes that need to be achieved. This is the truth of the matter. So if one person is, achieving what they're supposed to, and the other person says, well, because you're achieving what you're supposed to, I am basically, going down, how does that make sense? I don't understand. I don't understand. But that's how it works with the crab mentality. And so the truth of the matter is, if one person is going up, it's actually a pull up that could inspire others to go up too. It's a picture of maybe how to go up, right? It maybe even creates a pathway for, one way you can go up is this way. Like there's so many benefits to one person going up, more than there are disadvantages. So basically switching that around, and the work of switching that around, I have to be honest that it is a little bit more involving than just saying switch that around. It is a spiritual work, it is a heart issue. It is an issue of being disconnected from your creator and his purpose and his voice and his love for who you are and the reason why he made you. There's a lot more that goes underneath the surface of healing some of these toxic mindsets. And that's why the work of self-development and the work of coaches and just therapists and all these people in the industry of transforming human minds and human behavior and helping people, right, make shifts in their minds and in their lives and in their relationships, and hence the community. It's so important. It's so important, right? Because there's sometimes a level by level, like an onion, like peeling back the onion, one session at a time. And so there is a little bit to switching that mentality. But the answer is switching that mentality around and seeing that if somebody is going up, it's almost like that person is creating a bridge. It's like, what are you doing? What works? And everyone's path is not the same, but we can all learn and glean from different people's paths to elevation and evolving and success. And so just doing away with that mindset, the crab mentality mindset alone, is like a big win when it comes to dealing with jealousy. The last point that I would like to make is that one of the reasons jealousy exists is a lack of focus on self-development. So if you're not moving up, you're usually moving down. There is no static in life. And you can even look at, a home. A home will tell you that same exact thing. Or nature, right? If you don't upkeep landscaping, everything goes wild. So when we're not constantly growing and meeting certain benchmarks for self-development and evolving, right, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, relationally, in all these ways, usually we are deteriorating is what happens. And so part of why sometimes jealousy happens is because people are not focused enough on self-development, because when you are focused on self-development, it is really hard to have enough time out of the day to be focused on somebody else's whatever they're doing, okay? Because when you're focused on self-development, in terms of, focusing on your dreams and goals and reviewing your dreams and goals daily, right? You're focused on your daily tasks of keeping your surroundings in organized, clean ways. When you're focused on self-care, taking care of yourself, your health, your sleep patterns, and all the things that go into taking care of a self. spirituality, right? You're focused on your spirituality, how you're connecting with God, with, you know, the Creator, how He is informing your life, and how you're connecting with others through your spirituality. And then, you know, that informing how you live life. And so if you have all of those things going on and you're moving forward in all of these areas because you have them planned out and you are working, you're doing the hard work of moving up, it becomes really hard for you to look to the side and become jealous, because you would look to the side and become inspired, like, this is the reason why I'm doing all this hard work because I want to have something like this, or I want to have something like that, right? Because success is written on all of our hearts. The reason why goals and dreams, you know, go to die in the grave is because people do not focus on self-development and self-growth continuously, right? All throughout their lifespan. And so focus is a big thing, focus. And if you find that, you know, you're overusing social media and it's becoming a distraction, right? It's becoming a distraction to your focus, you might have to cut back on social media, because you can only take so much inspiration, and then you have to go do your work. You have to go do the actual thing that needs to be done to get your life and your health to the places that you want it to go. And so focus is a big thing. So I am approaching jealousy from a psychological, emotional perspective, but I also believe that it has a spiritual basis, and so I want to interject that, you know, like I said before, putting in spiritual practices, right, that align your heart with good, with goodness, with love, with kindness, with courage, moral courage, with discipline. Just putting in that spiritual work that gets you into that space where when you're interacting with other people, no matter what's happening in your life, you're able to extend that grace, you're able to extend that love, you're able to extend that encouragement to other people, knowing that life works in seasons, right? Someone's sweat of planting, right? When it's planting season and someone is sweating, planting, while someone else is on their field harvesting because it's harvest season, you know, shouldn't be, mixed up, right? It shouldn't throw us off. If you are in a sowing season, you should gladly sow. You should know that one day you're going to reap the rewards of your hard work, the rewards of the seeds that you're putting into the ground for your life. And so if someone is in a harvest season, you can look at that and clap and cheer them on and say, I'm sowing into good soil. I know what I'm doing is going to work because it's worked over there. And good job, fellow neighbor, and kudos, and give me tips if you can. And I am so excited. I'm waiting and looking forward to some of these things and work that I'm doing to sprout into beautiful blooms and harvest and food, and plenty. And so it should never be a thing of, because I am in a harder season or because I'm in a different season, I should be looking at somebody else's season or somebody else's thing and become jealous. Like, that should never be a thing, especially if you're keeping your eyes focused on your plot of land that you're supposed to be tilling. So guys, the benefits of getting rid of jealousy, you know, whether it's female friendships, whether it's between spouses, you will be surprised. The spouses compete sometimes, and whether it's between co-workers and, you know, siblings, it's just unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary because of just the premise of, if somebody is here and you're here too, their success cannot be the reason why you can't be successful. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't be here, because they're the only thing that's needed. You wouldn't be on the planet. You're here because there's a different success bucket for you. You know, so as long as you're here, there's something for you. And so somebody else's success should never be the reason why your success is threatened. It's just, it doesn't work that way. And so just that premise helps in just taking jealousy out of the picture. And if it creeps its head up in any way, you know, focusing on the things that you're working on, the things that you like about yourself, right? Building that low self-esteem into a robust self-esteem, developing your self-efficacy, right? Developing self-trust, putting away the crab mentality, and focusing on self-development, going back to the drawing board and focusing on what you're working on. Because with jealousy out of the picture, we can build supportive, deeper, connected, loving, nourishing relationships and friendships with people around us, which helps us have good health and helps us build lives that we love, which is the goal of this channel. So guys, that brings us to the end of my video. I am passionate about this topic because I see this topic play out and in different ways, and it's just a toxic pattern that's very important to talk about and to deal with, right? Not hide underneath the dark and kind of try to pull the covers over, but expose it, put it in the light, and let the light be on it and work on it, right? And then it dissipates and then it goes away, and then we can live freer, more joyful, more vibrant lives, knowing that if we're here for a reason, for a purpose, and we can succeed and live our best lives. So guys, that brings us to the end of our video. I am so excited you stuck with me through this topic, and until my next video, have a beautiful, vibrant life.